Life goes by, whether you realize it or not, in a flash. And next thing you know, you're 90, if you make it that far. And what do you regret not doing? What do you regret? What chances you could take? Reasonable chances. Make the most of it, get the most out of it. We're not all beautiful, we're not all ugly, we're not all thin, we're not all fat. We're not all straight, we're not all gay. We're all something. And who you are is who you are. As long as you're not a jerk, you'll be who you want to be. But the point I'm trying to make is life, be in it, folks. Do something. Make something of your life. Don't sit back and wait for life to take you. It just comes to you. Just accept it as it comes. Set goals for yourself. Set challenges. Go out and make it happen. My entire life, that's what I've done. My entire life.
Taking place. Some Palestinians are being charged up to $2,000.
I'm not going to South Africa for the G20 because I think their policies on the extermination of people are unacceptable. So I'm not going. So I won't refer to anything having to do with South Africa. South Africa has behaved extremely badly. But
to pursue the agenda of white supremacy.
You think Trump is pursuing a white supremacist agenda?
Yes, I think so.
Sunrise over D.C., coffee in my hand. Saw the headlines from a faraway land. South Africa's politicos
running their mouth again about America and me. Where does it all end? They're about a whole year of the same old tune.
name calling in tall tales beneath the African moon. Oh, it's more trash in the USA. I declare, while their own folks are struggling beyond all compare, pointing fingers outward, ignoring what's inside. For Afrikaners and minorities, nowhere left to hide. Well, this cowboy's had enough,
Patience wearing thin.
gonna tell the world the truth.
Where do I begin? They talk about freedom and justice for all, while their own people are answering a different call.
Farmers on their homesteads,
Living in fear and dread,
minority voices silence words left unsaid.
promises like tumbleweeds blowing in the breeze, while their leaders keep on preaching,
Bringing us to our knees. Oh, it's more trash in the USA. I declare, while their own folks are struggling beyond all compare, pointing fingers outward, ignoring what's inside. For Afrikaners and minorities, nowhere left to hide. Well, this cowboy's had enough,
patience wearing thin.
gonna tell the world the truth.
Where do I begin?
I try to stay quiet,
Let it roll right on by.
but a man can only take so much beneath God's sky. That's the honest truth.
When you see folks suffering, it just ain't right.
Gonna set the record straight with all of my might. Oh, it's more trash in the USA. I declare, while their own folks are struggling beyond all compare, pointing fingers outward, ignoring what's inside. For Afrikaners and minorities, nowhere left to hide. Well, this cowboy's had enough,
Patience wearing thin.
gonna tell the world the truth.
Where do I begin?
Yeah, more trash in the USA.
where the truth will find its way.
Pretoria, listen up to what I gotta say. God bless America, come what may.
Come what may. Apriloggend nooit fout, die son begin te reis. Ek sien die hoop van 'n nasie in hul oë gewys. Goggels in die toue, 12 uur in die hitte, net om 'n droom te stem verby die ou verbitte. Die wêreld sing saam met ons, die hulp het ingestroom. Die springbokke lig die beker, ons leef die grootste droom. Die tuis was goue dae, die toekoms blink en skoon. Ons het gedans in die lig waar die reënboognasie woon. Maar die veld word nou al kouer, die belofte raak maar dun. Ons verruil ons vryheid nog voor ons kan begin. En hulle hardloop na die Here en draai hul rug op die weste vir 'n ander plan. Van die Kaap na die Kremlin, Beijing na Havana, terwyl hulle Bantus Christus de heilige Hosanna. Ja, hulle hardloop na die Here en bebrei met die spooke in die woestyn se sand. Hulle neem die ou verdrukking en gee dit 'n nuwe naam aan 'n spelers aan die top, maar die spel is net so skaam. Patronage en armoede versprei soos 'n virusgriep, terwyl hul hand skoot met tirane lê die skuldgevoel nie. Stagnasie in die water, korrupsie in die wind. Hulle mors die goeie erfenis wat ons nie weer sal vind. Hulle soek nie die stars en stripes, hulle soek die rassies rooi en gooi die skuld op Trump, terwyl die land in is lê en skroei. Die veld word nou al donkerder, die droom is uit die mode. Hulle verpansel ons toekoms vir totalitaire gode. En hulle hardloop na die Here en draai hul rug op die weste vir 'n ander plan. Van die Kaap na die Kremlin, Beijing na Havana, terwyl hulle Bantus Christus se heilige Hosanna. Ja, hulle hardloop na die Here en bebrei met die spooke in die woestyn se sand. Oorlogskepe in die hawe, skadies op die kaai. Die ANC is besig terwyl die wêreld vinnig draai. Hulle hou van die eystervuis, die partylyn so streng, terwyl hulle ons na die bouvalle van die tempel bring. Hulle waap al die pad na die rand, saam op die bandwagon, tot sins aan die reënboog met spookachtige ster. Ons hardloop al die pad na die
Marvin Divine. I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming, it's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
We reject unequivocally U.S. actions in Venezuela, and we demand the release of the dictator, the murderer, the narco-trafficker terrorist, our buddy, our friend, our pal, Nicolas Maduro. So says the African National Congress.
Sound check. Sounds good to me. We demand his release. Yeah, you can demand on one hand and you can do something on the other hand. Let's see which one gets full first. Ladies and gentlemen, live from New York, it's Saturday Night Live. My goodness. I haven't laughed that hard since I watched a movie in the early 1980s. We are the Knights of Ni, and we demand a shrubbery. A shrubbery. Come back, you coward. It's just a flesh wound. We demand the release. Yeah, okay, that's okay. Ladies and gentlemen, today, live from the White House, President Trump came out onto the ellipse behind the White House in Washington, D.C. President Trump apologized profusely for the kidnapping of Nicolas Maduro and promised to safely return him to ensconce him in his fascist dictatorial totalitarian position in a matter of hours. It's all over. This is directly attributable to the mighty international influence and the power of the African National Congress on the world stage. The world is rejoicing today after Cyril Ramaphosa stood up to Donald Trump and demanded Nicolas Maduro be returned to his perch in Venezuela. Can explain comment 2015 ago regulation imported bone chicken. Was imported on tons, allowed to import. No, that's not AGOA. Had nothing to do with AGOA. That's a direct agreement between them. It's not AGOA. AGOA is not a bilateral agreement. There was no negotiation on AGOA. AGOA was mentioned, but it's not AGOA. Yeah. Dim the lights, Natalie. Mr. President, I've never seen this before. Can you tell me where it's at? It's in South Africa, Cyril. We want a shrubbery. Make it stop, please. Make it stop. I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry. It's too funny. It's a great way to start the year. South Africa is demanding now. After doxing our diplomat, after violating the Vienna Conventions, after raiding a diplomatic activity, they're now demanding of the United States. It's the KFC Brigade. Ooh, that's a song. That's a song, man. That's a song. The KFC Brigade. After the news, we'll write a song today. The KFC Brigade. The March of the Caters. The KFC Brigade. Ooh, yes. The DA is very quiet on all this. You know who's disappeared in all this? Have we heard anything from Weeks? I hope she's okay. Could somebody send his proof of life on Helen Zilla? Could somebody send his proof of life on Helen Zilla? I've not heard anything from Helen Zilla for weeks. Anybody? The KFC Brigade goes marching on. She's fine, says SF. Okay, thanks. I haven't heard anything from her. I want proof of life. like Delcy Rodriguez, the vice president of Venezuela. I demand proof of life, and I don't want a finger. I want to see her on camera. That's all. Oh my goodness. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, 654 people currently here. Let's get started with this news broadcast. We already kind of covered it. I mean, it's a pure comedy hour, man. Live from New York. It's Saturday night. Ramaphosa condemns U.S. action in Venezuela and demands relief of Maduro and his wife. You can't make this stuff up, man. It's pure comedy gold. You cannot make this stuff up. It is absolutely pure comedy gold. Here we go. Let's see if we can get Cyril here. Problem is, this is pretty low, so I can't do much about the sound. It's as high as I can get here. So, thank you, Jean Bobby Jean. 35, please. Can it not be rather the KFC Defense Force? Oh my goodness. Let's try this. It's going to be hard to hear though, folks. My apologies for that because the recording was low to begin with. But here's Cyril.
Displacement. It is our commitment to international law and the United Nations Charter that informs our deep concern and action of the United States in Venezuela, which has undermined the territorial integrity and sovereignty of a UN member state called Venezuela. We reject utterly the actions that the United States has embarked upon and stand with the people of Venezuela. And we demand the release of President Maduro and his wife as well. We reiterate our call for decisive action by the United Nations Security Council to fulfill its mandate and advance peace and security.
we stand with the people of Venezuela. Really? You think the people of Venezuela want a fascist, murdering, totalitarian thief and patronage machine returning to office? I don't think so. Millions of people around the world rejoicing. These are Venezuelans who had to flee. That'd be like the overthrow of ZANU-PF. There'd be millions of Zimbabweans in the UK and in South Africa rejoicing over that. Yeah, we stand with the people of Zimbabwe, or with Venezuela. What planet are you on, buddy? This is unreal. These people are delusional. They're absolutely delusional. Been a busy morning for me, by the way, folks. I did a segment with Biz News earlier today. Yeah, who writes that stuff? Yeah, Mark Meyerberg. Oh, that deserves a bell, man. Who writes this crap for him? Exactly. Obviously, they reject sets of precedent where other countries can be held to account these sovereign entities that persecute their population and spoils all their plans. Yep. Listen, when the Khmer Rouge murdered millions of Cambodians, eventually the Vietnamese invaded unilaterally without any sanction by anyone around the world. They did it to restore freedom. When the Obote government was murdering Ugandans, the Tanzanians invaded and overthrew that government. Museveni takes credit for it, but it was the Tanzanians who invaded and changed the dynamic there. Unbelievable. All right, let's get back to this news story. So, Ramaphosa condemns this. Joe Slovo, oh my gosh, the commie. Joe Slovo, former housing minister and commander of the ANC's armed wing, Mkhonto Sizwe, died in 1995. Ramaphosa praised Joe Slovo as an internationalist who fought not only for the liberation of South Africans, but for oppressed people across the continent and the world. He did not only fight for the liberation of the people of South Africa, but for the people of our continent and our people across the world. He said Slovo's principles continue to guide the ANC's international outlook. Aha! And there's the problem. A commie, racist bastard. That's the problem, Joe Slovo. Yep, there you go. If that's your guide stone, no wonder you're in deep trap. Well, folks, South Africa's condemned the U.S. at the United Nations. Oh, we're quaking in our boots. Uganda, Eritrea joined vocal condemnation while other nations hold their fire. Look at that. Two countries ruled by totalitarian fascists are opposed to the United States' rendition of a suspected narco-terrorist. South Africa's condemned the U.S. military intervention in Venezuela at the United Nations, positioning itself as the African leader against an emerging neo-colonial era of might makes right. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Accused by President Trump of discriminating against Afrikaner farmers and hit by 30% tariff, the highest in Africa. Pretoria hit back after Trump barred President Trump from attending the New Year's summit in Florida, deeming South Africa not a country worthy of membership anywhere. The task fell to Jonathan Passmore, South Africa's acting deputy permanent representative, who is white. Okay, Jeune Afrique, why do we care whether he's white, black, brown, or blue? You see the racist, this Jeune Afrique, who published this garbage? Yeah. The 30% tariff, the highest in Africa, that's a lie too. They seem to forget that Lesotho was hit with a 90% tariff. Remember that? That was negotiated down because Lesotho weren't a bunch of asses like the South African government has been. Notice how they forget that. Well, I couldn't sleep for 2 days. Oh, he's so torn. The South African commie parties, Saleh Malachi, as they plan to march on the U.S. Embassy. Ooh. All three members of the South African Communist Party that aren't members of the ANC cabinet will be marching on the U.S. Embassy on the 8th. I must from the beginning indicate that we are organizing a march to the U.S. Embassy on Thursday. All the alliance components and everyone in South Africa are invited. Yeah, okay. I think the refugees should go have a braai across the street from the embassy. He said he was extremely disturbed internally by the abduction of Maduro. I must really say I did not sleep for 2 days after the abduction of President Nicolas Maduro, trying to think about the international situation. He called for the immediate release of Maduro and Flores. The U.S. influence in the world is weakening. It's like a bully. When you confront a bully, you'll be shocked by how apologetic they can be. Dude, you think you can't sleep now. Wait till you're in shackles and being renditioned back to frickin' Guantanamo Bay. Oh my goodness. These people just keep I'm not surprised it didn't show it as alive. YouTube is shadow banning me. Their minions are out in force. The ANC vows to defend Venezuelan sovereignty amid rising U.S. tensions. Oh, no, say it isn't so. It's Fikile Babalula. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring you now the Secretary General of the African National Congress.
But let's get to it.
Yes, let's get to it.
Secretary General
of
the ANC on this day, the 6th of January, will, accompanied, by the way, by the Provincial Secretary of the Northwest Province, Comrade Louis Ramelo, because we are currently in the Northwest.
Oh, thank you for telling people where they're at.
Also accompanied, I am accompanied by the provincial spokesperson of the ANC. We are not coming here to discuss matters that pertain to January 8th. We will be doing that in detail on Thursday.
Thank goodness.
At a walkabout at the stadium where the SG will address members of the media on our state of readiness. Today we're addressing a different matter that is of grave concern to humanity and the peoples of the world.
Nobody wants to hear from you. Let's get to Fikile.
To the situation in Venezuela. I will then call on the SG to read out our statement, after which we will take questions.
I think her hair's plaited a little too tight. It's affecting her critical thinking skills. Ah, here he is. Fikile. Yes. Fikile.
The podium is full.
Yes. There's Cyril's iPad. Is it just me, or is that EWN thing look weird?
Ladies and gentlemen of the media, Comrade Mahlengi, and the provincial spokesperson, the provincial secretary, Comrade Louis Ramelo, ladies and gentlemen of the media, compliments of the new year to all of you. The African National Congress condemns the recent acts of aggression directed at the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, which constitutes a serious violation of international law, national sovereignty, and the principles governing peaceful relations between states. The kidnapping of Comrade President Nicolas Maduro.
The kidnapping. It's called rendition, a warrant. Been in effect for years. Kidnapping. Yeah. Kidnapping is what happens in South Africa.
His wife, Comrade Celia Flores, and son, Nicolas Ernesto Maduro, undermines the United Nations Charter and threatens global peace and stability at a time when the world requires cooperation.
So do you mean like the South African government using SADC to provide top cover for their invasion of Lesotho under Operation Bolias in 1998? Does that threaten security? Or the multiple South African missions using the guise of SADC to invade Comoros over the past 25 years? Are you talking about that? Or perhaps you're talking about the intrusion of South African troops into the Congo, causing instability and chaos over the past 25 years. When you're talking about causing chaos and military intervention, what are you talking about there, buddy? Come on, Fikile, elaborate.
Strain and dialogue. the ANC expresses its solidarity with the people of Venezuela.
Sorry, buddy. The people of Venezuela don't express their solidarity with you. Oh, my goodness. They don't express their solidarity with you. You're delusional. Hey, listen. I understand there's a flight leaving for Havana in an hour, Fikile. Get on it. O'Neill de Beer would have ripped into this.
Who continue to endure sustained political, economic, and diplomatic pressure. As a liberation movement, forged in struggle against colonialism, apartheid.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. That's enough. I can't stomach the fake history of South Africa where these frauds claim to have won liberation when it was the National Party that just gave up. Speaking of giving up, Gwede Mantashe. This is Naledi Pandor's cousin there. Yes, that's right. Jabba the Hutt's cousin. Yes, Gwede Mantashe getting roasted. Excuse me just a moment. Sorry about that. It looked important. Writes his own stupid speech. No one else is that stupid. Yeah, maybe. Thank you, Mark, for making it rain. Yes, it makes you sad the ANC pretends it cares so much about people in Venezuela, but their own people suffer right here. Children starving. Yep. Could the black people South Africa please stand up? Agreed. Let's get back to Gwede Mantashe. He's being roasted for his comments, his insensitive comments. Oh, my goodness. He's really being roasted for the stupid things he says. It's about time. Remember, if they won't give us the aid, we won't give them the minerals. Hey, genius, we give you the money and we buy the minerals. Political leaders criticize Gwede Mantashe's irresponsible comments. During an interview with SABC regarding the party's governance record, Mantashe said he was satisfied with the ANC's delivery, but criticized citizens for failing to be proactive. He urged the unemployed to stop basking in the sun and start applying for the opportunities he claims the ANC has created. The ANC has given you a fishing rod. Must it now catch fish for you? I'm now over 70. I've never had a government job to look for me. What? Never had the government look for a job for me? Dude, you've been employed by the government since 1998. 27 years. 27 years. Mantashe emphasized the need for a cultural shift. You queue for a job, you look for an advert, and you apply in real terms. We must move away from being a parcel society and become an active society. Well, he's right about that. He attributed the high unemployment rate directly to ANC's 3 decades in power, says MP Money. This is not blunt honesty. This political contempt dressed up as advice. Unemployment South is not an accident. It's a direct outcome of policy choices that hollowed out industry and protected monopoly capital while the productive base collapsed. To now blame the unemployed is an act of cowardice. Woo! Herman Mashaba joined the chorus, blaming the ANC for the crisis through failed economic policies, corruption, and looting of state resources. Mantashe is unrelenting his personal mission to insult poor and unemployed South Africans. I'm wondering whether this official ANC policy, the ANC government is to a large part responsible for the state of unemployment in South Africa. Oh my goodness. Gwede Mantashe says you're unemployed because you're not looking for jobs. You're sitting in your laurels waiting for the government to bring jobs to you, meaning jobs are there. You're just not applying. I don't think I've heard anything more nonsensical. So, isn't this funny? Ladies and gentlemen, today, January 6, 2026, Jan van Riebeck is off the hook. It's not Jan's fault. Jan is free. It's no longer apartheid's fault. It's no longer Jan van Riebeck. It's no longer Hendrik Verwoerd. Now, the ANC finally gets blamed by black elites in South Africa. Black elites are now blaming the ANC for the failure. It only took 31 years and complete collapse of infrastructure, business, services. Now we're finally blaming the people responsible for South Africa's mess. The African National Congress. Viva Jan. That's right. Jan van Riebeck is free of the burden of being blamed for South Africa's cock. It's now finally the ANC being blamed. Ladies and gentlemen, today is Liberation Day for Jan van Riebeck. Jan van Riebeck is relieved of this burden today. He can rest in peace. It's Free Jan Day. We have to write this down. January 6th, which coincidentally is the day of the insurrection took place in America. You remember that. when protesters walked into the Capitol building after the police opened the doors. Remember that? But it was an insurrection. Yes, free Jan. Free Jan Day. That's a video in itself. I have so many videos to make. Jan van Riebeck is released of his burden. Finally, they blame the ANC for what they've done. Oh my goodness. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Democratic Alliance has crawled up out of its hole like Puxatawny Phil, looking to see if winter will last longer, or will he go back in his hole or stay out. Just like Puxatawny Phil, the Democratic Alliance has popped up, and they said that South African government stance on Venezuela is politically selective. No, a word from the Democratic Alliance. Now, ladies and gentlemen, a word from the Democratic Alliance. Yes. Free Jan. That's another one. Free Jan. The day they freed Jan. Oh my goodness. The Democratic Alliance is alive and well. Apparently. We demand immediate release of Jan. The DA has criticized South Africa's call for an urgent UN Security Council meeting over President Trump's military strike orders against Venezuela. The DA argues the Department of International Relations cooperation response was different when Russia invaded Ukraine. But the department says South Africa has always opposed sovereign violations. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. You've committed sovereign violations. You invaded Lesotho in 1998. You invaded Comoros 5 times. 5 times. You sent troops to the Congo, ostensibly in peacekeeping, but more for looting. Oh, my goodness. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've been told that South Africa's economy is on the mend and the outlook is good. Yeah, what they don't tell you is the bond buyers have been sucking up all the bonds, driving up interest rates, and bringing more money to the economy artificially, something that can't be sustained in the long term. But in the meantime, all the indicators are going the other direction, south. All of the smelters are closing. People are tuning off the grid and spending a fortune buying solar panels to get electricity because Eskom can't deliver it. South African Airways still not profitable, still not fully operational. Airports company South Africa can't deliver fuel or air traffic controllers or people to manage airports, and therefore leading to 34-hour delays. Yes, and now the PMI has dropped to just 47.7. That is not a good sign. The weakest in a year. The Purchasing Managers Index, released on Tuesday, is terrible, 47.7. After a couple strong quarters, South African economy experienced damper conditions fourth quarter with business activity declining for 3 running months. Interesting. The one time of the year when business activity picks up and surges is December. Why? Retail spending and restocking shelves because people shop for the holiday season. But the economy went down. Interesting. Keep telling us that things are going well in South Africa. And of course, as I said, the Democratic Alliance has accused DIRCO of hypocrisy on Venezuela. And they're right. Well, reservoir roulette. Will you run out of water during the RAN water maintenance? Yet again, they can't deliver water. Johannesburg and Mohali City local municipality face water disruptions as RAN Water conducts 54-hour maintenance on key pipelines with recovery expected to take up to 7 days in affected areas. 7 days. Oh my goodness, the clouds are gathering. Oh, tata, the clouds are gathering. I will ululate. The clouds are gathering. Oh, will you be without water, folks? Who knows? Rudaport Deep Reservoir supplies Hamburg, Randleases, Rudaport, Creswell Park, Fleurhof Reservoir, Doornkop Reservoir, Meadowlands Reservoir, and the Bramfisher Reservoir, all in trouble. Well, a bail hearing has been set for the accused murder of beloved DJ Waris, January 13th. One of the suspects arrested in connection with the murder of DJ and security consultant Warwick Stock, properly known as DJ Waris, appeared briefly in the magistrate's court today. Victor Majola faces charge of murder and premeditated murder after the fatal shooting on December 16th. Family distraught over that. Well, speaking of kidnapping, kidnapping, not Maduro, but a Chinese influencer. Kidnapping of Chinese influencer in South Africa sparks alarm over high-profile travel. This is a story from back in December, but more details emerge now. That's why I didn't report on initially. Kidnapping in South Africa has sent shockwaves through China's internet, not only because the Chinese traveler was violently targeted, but because the scheme appears to have been orchestrated with the help of a Chinese national. Ooh. Lan Zanfei, a wealthy Chinese top travel influencer with more than 26 million followers, was kidnapped inside his Cape Town five-star hotel after sharing his South Africa itinerary. According to a summary of his post online, the assailants had been tracking him long before kidnapping. After allegedly bribing airline crew members, they obtained his flight information and attempted to approach him at the airport by posing as enthusiastic fans. When that failed, they tried by surrounding him with a fake taxi setup, several cars pulling up to block and pressure him towards an unlicensed vehicle, but he avoided them. Late that night, with the alleged help from someone inside the hotel, the suspects reportedly used a room key to enter his suite. Armed with knives, they held him for 4 to 5 hours, first demanding huge ransom. When that didn't work, they emptied his accounts, forcing him to apply for online loans, and documented him in ways designed to enable long-term blackmail. He says they photographed him naked, took photos of identity verification, and collected a wide range of biometric data such as fingerprints, hair samples, saliva, and even semen, threatening to use those to fabricate future evidence or debt claims. Wow. Hey, Francois Ferrer, thanks for hosting Saturday Night Live. You're very welcome. 40 Rand. Fearing there were additional kidnappers insiders within the hotel, he didn't dare call for help. After the kidnappers left, he barricaded himself in the room until security staff from the Chinese consulate arrived the next morning and transferred him to safety. The case has been formally filed with the Southampton police, who have launched a task force, but warn the investigation will be challenging. Incidents become a cautionary tale about a booming trend. Chinese traveler influencers venturing into developing countries, once seen as distant, risky, or mysterious, and turning that sense of danger into social media capital. High-stakes destinations make for compelling content. The rewards for documenting these journeys can be enormous, but this case shows the flip side. When their creators script their own narratives around adventure and share every detail of their movements, they can end up trapped by the very danger they romanticize. And now you understand why my trips are no longer public knowledge. My trips no longer have announced schedules, and all of the meet and greets are on short notice. Does that make sense to you guys? The threats that this gentleman is facing are threats that I've been facing ever since 2022 when I first went to South Africa. I've avoided many of these situations, but you never know. And now the notoriety, I'm a household name in South Africa, and this is why you can't take chances like that. Yep. So, the interim chair vows to address vacant posts and auditor general concerns. Bonnie Duplessis towards Carmen. Thank you. Yeah, $614. Yep, 11,500 Rand. Yep, a total of 766,232 first-time entry students applied for funding from the National Student Financial Aid Scheme, and 50,000 were rejected, based largely on too much income. Too much income. That's a lot. 49,000. 67% of the applications were from female applicants. Just 33.5% were from male applicants. Wow. 49,568 were rejected following a rigorous review. I wonder how many of them were white. Just a question. Just a question. I'm just curious. Well, Central African Republic's President Touadera has won re-election. 68-year-old mathematician took power a decade ago, seeking a third term after constitutional referendum scrapped the presidential term limit. How convenient that is. He got 76% of the vote. Yeah, right. Voter turnout was 52%. Uganda bans live broadcast of riots and unlawful processions ahead of the vote. Amnesty is accusing country of torture and mass arrests, and I would go along with that assessment. Uganda's government said on Monday it was banning live broadcasts of riots, unlawful processions, and other violent incidents ahead of an election in which Museveni is seeking to extend his 40-year rule. Authorities have detained hundreds of opposition supporters ahead of the January 15 election, which will again pit the 81-year-old octogenarian fascist against a 43-year-old pop star, Bobby Wine. More than 50 people were killed before the last election in 2021. What is this I Am Charlie stuff? Charlie Kirk? Mali's junta leader, Assimi Goïta, purges senior officers in the latest military shakeup. Mali's transitional president, Assimi Goïta, who needs a shave, has dismissed several high-ranking security officials from the armed forces. marking the latest stage in a sweeping purge of the country's military apparatus. Those removed from the ranks include Colonel Major or Colonel Major Kassoum Goita, the former head of Malian intelligence, as well as Colonel Fode Malik Sissoko of the National Guard, and Mustafa Dikati, the commissioner of the National Police. And officially, the reason was disciplinary hearings. Suspected jihadists attacked Mali's gold mine at Murillo. They took 7 employees hostage before releasing them. Armed men on Saturday attacked the mine for which U.S. U.S.-based Flagship Gold signed an investment agreement last year. Flagship Gold did not respond. Mali's southern Sikassa region holds estimated reserves of 2.5 million ounces, according to the mines industry. It was taken over by the state after Australia's Fire Finch abandoned operations over declining output and rising cost. It was previously operated by Barrick and Anglo Gold Ashanti. Syria and Israel revived security talks, which should be mediated by the United States. The talks are in Paris, the latest effort to reduce tensions between two long-standing enemies. The deal would help curry favor with the Trump administration. Syrian delegation led by Foreign Minister Assad al-Shabani and the country's intelligence chief Hussein al-Salama, according to Sana, the news agency. Refugee camps, most birthdays fall on New Year's because the United Nations listed the Rohingya as having all been born on the 1st of January. When the Exodus of Rohingya fled to Bangladesh a decade ago, the United Nations recorded many of their birthdays as January 1st. The date serves as a reminder of a lost identity. Rohingya refugees arriving in Bangladesh in 2017. Do you see them selling their cars, their houses? Do you see them getting refugee cash assistance? Do you see them going online and complaining about waiting 2 weeks for a response? I don't see that here. I don't see that. When he woke up in his bamboo shelter on New Year's Day, hundreds of Facebook notifications were waiting Mohammed Farouk on his phone. It was his birthday. It was his wife's birthday, and that of his 5 brothers and sisters, his parents, his best friend, and most fellow residents of Camp 7. He had already posted his best wishes the night before, apologizing tongue-in-cheek that he wouldn't be able to congratulate them all. According to the United Nations refugee cards, hundreds of thousands of Rohingya in this and more than 30 other camps in Bangladesh were all born on the same day, January 1st. Not really, though. When members of the ethnic minority were violently driven from their homes in neighboring Myanmar in 2017, the overwhelmed UN aid workers put that date on the paperwork used to register them. The shared arbitrary birthday leads to annual rounds of humor on social media. We need a cake that can cover an area of around 1 kilometer. Yeah. The refugee card is the only ID document that Mr. Farouk says he owns. He was actually born on September 13th, along with the loss of homeland that has left him stateless. The incorrect birthday makes him feel like part of his real identity has been taken. Yep. When I see the date, I feel like I am no one. I understand that. China ramping up its dispute with Japan. Beijing bans exports to Japan that could have military uses, escalating retaliation for the Prime Minister's remarks about Taiwan. Beijing move also showcases to the rest of the world the economic weapons China has at its disposal to strike back at countries it perceives as adversaries and deter others from speaking out in Taiwan. I will speak out in Taiwan, a sovereign nation, the true mantle of authority over mainland China is the Kuomintang. No, it's not standard procedure, Krista. They were overwhelmed by hundreds of thousands of Rohingya all at one time who fled in mass. And so they just saved time down that way. A magnitude 5.7 earthquake has rocked Japan, this time on the other side, Matsui. Moderately strong 5.7 magnitude earthquake struck in Japan on Tuesday, according to the United States Geological Survey. Monster Max gave 40 Iranians who will blame African reform for Maduro's arrest. Probably. That's because they went to America and told the United States how to get Maduro. See, it was AfriForum and Solidarity who informed. They knew where Maduro was, and they told the secret special forces. The trembler occurred at 10:18 in the morning, Japan time, 11 miles south of Matsui. Previously was reported 5.8, but it's been adjusted to 5.7 magnitude. Yep, there were no earthquakes when I was in Japan for the Rugby World Cup, thank goodness. A U.S. attack on Greenland to seize Greenland would end NATO, says Mette Frederiksen. Desperate for attention, the angry leader of her party who lost control of Copenhagen for the first time in nearly a century, since 1938. Denmark's Prime Minister warned on Monday that an American attack on Greenland, Danish territory, would cause the end of NATO. Prime Minister Frederiksen in Denmark made the comments, some of her strongest on the subject. She said the threats were unacceptable pressure. I believe that he means it. UK has banned junk food adverts on television. Like that's going to have an impact. And online to tackle childhood obesity. You know, how about exercise? That'll help childhood obesity. And no processed foods. Stephen Miller has asserted the U.S. has the right to take Greenland. No wonder Mette Frederiksen's so upset. Stephen Miller, the uber powerful influencer of Donald Trump, has said that U.S. has the right to take Greenland. By the way, here, folks, is a programming announcement. Last night, I quietly announced that I will be coming to Texas soon, and we'll be having a get-together with South African refugees. I'll be inviting John B. Wells from the Caravan of Midnight, also the Singing Cowboy, our friend from Houston, if he's in town, Dean Chancey, to come up as well, and any South Africans that are living in the area. This will probably take place in Dallas sometime in the near future. It will be a meet and greet and a chance for camaraderie to get together to the 187 South African refugees now in Texas, and however many arrive after that. If you'd like to come to this, we are going to set something up. All right? A Texas hoedown. The Texas meet and greet. All right? Yep. Trying to get John B. Wells to come to it. And some people are old. Remember him. Yep, remember him for the Lexington commercials. Yep, that's the plan. John B. Wells and Brendy and I get together. Hopefully we can get Dean Chancey and some other folks to come join us. And we're looking at doing a meet and greet here. Chris Wyatt meet and greet in Texas. It's our Texas meet and greet. There you go. Things are bigger in Texas, and that's why we're going to Texas. We're going to Texas, folks. Mad Max 14 Rand, thank you for that. Yeah, Brandy will be there, Cappy. Yep. It's the Texas meet and greet, folks. If the mountain won't come to Muhammad, we'll take Muhammad to the mountain. There you go, folks. Yeah, his cigarettes were terrible. Yep. So now you know the cat's out of the bag. Marissa, I'm going to go back later in the year, but this is an initial one to get it going. Steve Miller asserts the U.S. has the right to take Greenland. CNN interview. Trump aide echoed the president's intent to run Venezuela. Nobody's going to fight the U.S. militarily over the future of Greenland, he told Jake Tapper. We live in the world, in the real world, Jake, that is governed by strength, that is governed by force, that is governed by power. These are the iron laws of the world since the beginning of time. Wow. And now they are freaking out in Copenhagen. Indeed, they are. Europe has reaffirmed its support for Greenland. Forgetting for a moment that Greenland is actually a colonial possession occupied by European colonist empire. Yes, that's right. It's a colonial empire. They've forgotten that. Thank you for the 5 memberships there. Appreciate that. I did not see Dan Bongino back at his old count. I'm not a huge fan of Dan Bongino. Nothing against him, just don't find him particularly interesting. I find him rather dull and boring. Europe reaffirms support for Greenland. Denmark fears of U.S. takeover. Europe reaffirmed support for Greenland's independence on Tuesday, except Greenland's not independent. It's not independent. It's a Danish territory. Greenland belongs to its people. It's for Denmark and Greenland, and them only decide the matters of Denmark, Greenland. NATO has made clear the Arctic region is a priority, and European allies are stepping up. No, they're not. And they're colonizers. They're colonizers. The Danes are colonizers. They've colonized Greenland. We demand the colonial era end in Greenland. Ridiculous, folks. Absolutely ridiculous. Isn't it ironic that colonial power wants to hold on last vestiges of its great colonial empire, which wasn't that big to begin with? Okay, that's fine, Sven. Nestle has recalled some baby formula products over toxic concerns. The recalls for brands SMA, Biba, Alfamino, and Nan have gone out across Europe for UK, Ireland, Germany, Italy, Denmark, and Switzerland. Well, that's not good. Nestle in January 5th recalled dozens of batches of its baby and follow-on formula brands across Europe over food safety concerns, warning the products could contain a toxin that caused nausea, vomiting, and abdominal cramps. That is bad mojo. Well, the Swiss bar that was hit with the deadly fire had not been inspected for 6 years. We find that not only are there lazy officials providing no service delivery in South Africa, but apparently they're also in Switzerland, Who knew? Officials in Crans, Montana, the Swiss Alpine resort town where the bar fire killed 40 people last week, are facing growing accusations of lax oversight. Wow. Local authorities have failed to carry out yearly inspections between 2020 and 2025 at the bar in the Swiss Alps that suffered a deadly fire. We bitterly regret this, said Nicholas Ferrand, the mayor of Crans, Montana. Wow. The justice will determine the extent to which this failure influenced the chain of events leading to the tragedy. Mr. Ferrand said he never received any alerts. Boer FG says, my last super chat from South Africa, Colonel. My next one from USA. Thanks for all your efforts all around. Well, don't leave us, Boer FG. Thank you for the 100 Rand super chat. Excuse me. Got some beard in my mouth there. Thank you for the super chats. That's right. There's no Vikings left to defend Greenland. They would do a better job than Denmark. Absolutely. Yeah, soundproofing was the problem there. 2 Caribbean islands have agreed to take criminal alien invaders off of our hands. Dominica and Antigua and Barbuda will be taking them off our hands. 2 Caribbean nations have announced that they agreed to take in third country nationals who enter the United States illegally. Dominican Prime Minister Roosevelt Scarrett said the island nations entered into an internal agreement with the United States would allow illegal immigrants to be deported in cases where the individuals cannot be returned to their home countries due to safety concerns. There you go. Thank you very much to those 2 islands. Venezuela's regime's new strategy, try to appease Trump. There is Delcy. It's Delcy. I like to say Delcy. Delcy Rodriguez. She has a narrow path for survival, will appease both the hardline remnants of Nicolas Maduro's regime and President Trump at the same time. Well, that's tough. Good luck with that, sweetheart. Trump says the U.S. is not at war with Venezuela. It was a raid, my friends, after Maduro's capture. Yep. No, we're not at war. We're at war with people that sell drugs. We're at war with people that empty their prisons in our country and empty their drug addicts and empty their mental institutions in our country. But we're not at war with Venezuela. Democrats are not threatening a shutdown this time. Ooh, that's an interesting story from the Wall Street Journal. Maybe the 31 January deadline will not be a deadline. Maybe we'll have at least a continuing resolution before then. Flesh and I wouldn't expect it in Switzerland either. That's very lax, particularly in a high-end resort town. When Senator Jackie Rosen, Demon Rat of Nevada, joined a breakaway group of Democrats to help Republicans end a record-long government shutdown, she cited unimaginable pain and suffering on working people, pointing to the loss of food aid and the startling air traffic in her tourism-dependent state. One unmentioned episode weighed on her, a suicide by a woman who was about to start work at Nevada's Creech Air Force Base. The 44-year-old had been unable to find other work after getting furloughed, and her husband, also a government contractor, was hunting for a second job to pay the bills. Suffering from hip-related problems and using a cane, she said in late October suicide note that she didn't want to be a financial burden. Of course, the suicide weighed heavily on me because our actions here, and we don't work in a vacuum. Our actions have consequences for real people. So Democrats look like they may not be trying to cause another shutdown coming up here shortly. That's interesting. Thank you, Carl Van Heerden, for your platoon leader membership. Thank you very much. So we'll see what happens with the Democrats. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, because of his Somali scam, is not running for re-election. Oh, after announcing his re-election bid, now he's been rasooled. He's been rasooled. He's PNG'd, my friend. PNG'd. Oh, my goodness. Persona non grata. Carried far away. Oh, my goodness. Timmy Walz has been PNG'd. Persona non grata. Where is that at, man? Where did that song go? I had that thing. Oh, my goodness. Oh, persona non grata, man. He is persona non grata. Timmy Walz. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Timmy Walz.
In the heart of shadows where headlines grow, a name engraved in whispers and undertow. Ambassador, no time.
sitting in the dark. Goodbye, Timmy.
Hold the ties that thread and tangle.
Say goodbye.
Diplomatic
Stolen Valor Tim.
moonlight. A step misplaced and the stage does sway. Persona non grata carried far away.
Goodbye, Timmy.
Pages turn but bridges burn so fast. A name and ember solemnly cast. In halls of power, a silent decree echoes and whispers across the sea. Oh, the ties that thread and tangle tight. Diplomatic dances in the cold moonlight. A step misplaced and the stage does sway. Persona non grata carried far away. When walls talk back and windows cry, boundaries drawn under heavy skies. In the space between the set and scene lies a story that cuts unclean. Hold the ties that thread and tangle tight. Diplomatic dances in the cold moonlight. A step misplaced and the stage does sway. Persona non grata carried far away. Persona non grata carried far away.
Goodbye, Timmy. Stolen Valor Waltz. Stolen Valor Timmy Waltz is not running for re-election, and hopefully federal indictments will be coming against him for abuse of his office and enabling Somalis to defraud American taxpayers of billions of dollars. Every minute I spend defending my own political interests would be a minute I can't spend defending the people of Minnesota against the criminals who prey on our generosity and the cynics who prey on our differences. So I've decided to step out of the race and let others worry about the election while I focus on the work. That's another song. A little Timmy. Bye-bye, Timmy. Bye-bye, Timmy. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Timmy Waltz. Mr. Stolen Valor. The man who can help you get out of a drunk charge by pretending to be a combat veteran who has a balance issue because of your combat service. That's it. Bye-bye, Timmy, Timmy, Timmy. So long. Well, more news from the United States, ladies and gentlemen. The Pentagon is moving to strip a senator of his military pension. They want to cut Senator Mark Kelly's military retirement pay over punishment for his incitement to insurrection. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth announced Monday the Pentagon is taking administrative action to punish Senator Mark Kelly, retired Navy captain, by moving to cut his retirement pay for participating in a video where he and other Democrat lawmakers remind U.S. service members of their duty to refuse illegal orders. In response to Senator Mark Kelly's seditious statements and his pattern of reckless misconduct, the Department of War is taking administrative action against Captain Mark Kelly. The department has initiated retirement grade determination proceedings under U.S. Code Title 10, Section 1370, Paragraph F, with reduction in his retired grade resulting in corresponding reduction in pay. Wow. In response, he said, if Pete Hegseth, the most unqualified Secretary of Defense in our country's history, thinks he can intimidate me with censure or threats to demote me or prosecute me, he still doesn't get it. I will fight this with everything I've got, not for myself, but to send a message back that Pete and Donald Trump don't get to decide what Americans in this country get to say about their government. Dude, it's not a question of what you get to say about the government. You went beyond the pale. You violated your oath. We hold the same rank, Mr. Senator. Mark Kelly, we hold the same rank, and you violated your oath to the Constitution by inciting and fomenting insurrection and disobedience within the ranks of the military. Your actions are incredibly dangerous to the welfare, the morale, and the execution of military duties of our forces. You are a shameful person who should be embarrassed by your actions and not emboldened by it. Yep. Mark Kelly vows to fight back after his retired military rank and pay cut because of seditious video. Senator Mark Kelly on Monday vowed to fight efforts to cut his rank and pay as a retired U.S. Navy officer after Defense Secretary Hegseth accused of making seditious statements. He spent more than 25 years in the Navy, flew 39 combat missions, and 4 voyages into space as an astronaut. And that doesn't excuse his conduct. Not even remotely. Doesn't excuse his conduct. No, you don't get to do those things. As I've told you, folks, as a retiree, we are subject to recall and to the Uniform Code of Military Justice. And you cannot do things like that. JJ Neuhoff, thank you for your membership. Yeah, he left his brains at the International Space Station. Well, folks, it's been 5 years since the effort to undermine the Trump presidency and legacy was initiated by a bunch of fools and by false flag operations at the Capitol building. The House Democrats hold a special January 6th hearing on the 5-year anniversary. 5 years ago, outside the White House, the outgoing President Trump told a crowd of supporters to head to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you, in protest as Congress was affirming the election. And that's actually what he said. This is the truth. PBS is reporting the facts. Whoops, stop that. A short time later, the world watched as the seat of U.S. power descended into chaos and democracy hung in the balance. Well, that's a bit of hyperbole. Democracy never hung in the balance. The continuity of government would prevent that from happening. These are people that know nothing about the government. U.S. government was not in jeopardy. Frankly, if the Congress didn't exist, we'd be in better shape. The Congress doesn't exercise daily oversight of the government. The Congress writes laws. That's all they do, and fund things. They could do their job, frankly, in 6 weeks and leave for the rest of the year. The executive branch oversees the execution of the government and all its agencies. Without Congress, things would flow much smoother. Former leader of the Proud Boys, Enrique Tarrio, is staging a midday march retracing the rioter steps from the White House to the Capitol to honor Trump supporter Ashley Babbitt. I ask those who are able to attend, please do so. He was sentenced to more than 22 years in prison for seditious conspiracy for having orchestrated the attack. Of course, he didn't do that. That's all lies. He's among more than 1,500 defendants who saw their charges dropped. Yep. 5 years on, and the culture of this is changing. Trump neutralizes politics of January 6th. Security is focus of new committee. Many people thought President Trump was in big trouble and could even land in prison after January 6th. Instead, he's entering his second year of another White House term and rewriting the narrative around the Capitol clash has shocked the world. My sense is that only a small percentage of Americans would hold up as valorous that what actually happened on January 6th. A violent invasion of the Capitol building, desecration of civic monuments, leading to multiple deaths of law enforcement officers near attack, and eminently decent and patriotic vice president, said Russell Riley, professor and co-chair of the Presidential Oral History Program at the University of Virginia's Miller Center. And see, people like this in high offices like that, universities who are just propagandists. There was no multiple deaths of law enforcement officers. No law enforcement officer died on that day. That's a total lie, total fiction. There was no attack. There were people breaking and entering. That's not an attack. People walking through the building. The ugliness of 5 years ago bears little now on the cost. So this actually had a picture of the so-called rioters inside the building, and they've replaced it. They've also changed the title since I put this video up, or this story up here. Yep, the picture's gone. Yeah, they've changed the picture. Ain't that something? They've changed the picture. Many January 6th rioters, a pardon from Trump wasn't enough. Some of them find themselves in more trouble. Some of them want compensation. Trump administration. Oh, here's the picture. So the title of this from the New York Times says, rioters breaching the Capitol on January 6th, calls for revenge among the pardoned rioters and their supporters from Mainland. Does that look like a riot to you? One dude's got his hands up, raising his hands. The police are standing there calmly. Nobody's burning paintings. Nobody's ripping anything down. It doesn't look like a riot to me. Does that look like a riot to you? Doesn't look like a riot to me. I did not see Professor G's video. Why? Did not see Professor G's video. 5 years later, Seven Democrats seek to ban taxpayer-funded payouts. I would also agree. No one should be paid for that unless they were incarcerated unjustly. Reviewed by CBS News, a bill would outlaw the establishment of any compensation fund to award money to rioters. Another piece of legislation would prohibit the use of federal tax money to pay for civil legal settlements. The No Settlements for 5 January 6 Law Enforcement Assaulters Act. Trump administration has already approved one civil settlement in connection with the mob that overran the Capitol. The Justice Department approved a $5 million settlement to the family of Ashley Babbitt, who was shot and killed by a racist Capitol police officer who was covered up by the federal government and still not been doxxed by the government. The Corporation for Public Broadcasting ceased to exist. They voted themselves out of existence. They've long overstayed their welcome. Founded back in 1967, this organization, which steered federal funding from taxpayers to the Public Broadcasting Service, National Public Radio, and many public television stations, radio stations across the country, voted to dissolve. Good riddance. Corporation for Public Broadcasting, good riddance. Thank you for disappearing. Immigration Customs Enforcement will send 2,000 personnel to Minnesota amid the fraud scandal. Of course, this is after a local Hampton Inn denied government employees reservations. They canceled the reservations. It's time to boycott that company, which is an affiliate of Hilton chain. The ANC keeps poking the eagle because they realize the blame apartheid card has been overplayed. Now the USA retaliates. They can use a new victim card and blame the USA for their failures. Exactly. That's what I've been saying for months. Yep. Thank you for the 70 Rand. That sounds like AI. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement is sending immigration officers and agents to Minnesota amid a growing welfare fraud scandal. 2,000 personnel in Minneapolis surrounding areas to carry out an immigration arrest. That's good. So that means that one agent for every 40 Somalis. U.S. announces a major revision to the American citizenship test, which frankly is far too easy. Only 20 questions. Here's children that participated in a ceremony back in 2013. Becoming U.S. citizens. U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services have revised naturalization tests that all applicants must pass to become citizens. Our new version of the test will ensure all new citizens understand the privilege of citizenship and what it means to be an American. During the civics test, you'll answer important questions about American history, U.S. government, and civics. The 2025 naturalization test was an oral test with only 20 questions from 128 pre-provided questions. You only have to get 12 correct to pass. But to be fair, a number of Americans couldn't pass the test themselves. U.S. companies won big because the Trump administration does engage multilaterally despite the lies of the chattering leftist class. Trump administration issued threats but stayed inside global talks and bent them its way over taxing corporations. So we won the day there by engaging multilaterally despite the lies about Trump. And that represents the news for today now that some people are just disappearing on us. We lost a lot of people at the top of the hour. Yep, we were at 700. Now we're down to 6-something. 6:59. Presumably they disappear for someone else who's intruding in my time slot. Most people are just selfish and refuse to help their friends, says Trix. By performance, how can the ANC express outrage at the breach of international law, but they're okay with phoning Hamas? Yeah, exactly, Sami. Yep, not just that. They invaded Lesotho. They invaded Comoros. Yeah. 60 questions. I think it ought to be 100 questions. Buster, I don't think we're going to be rugby world champions, but I appreciate the thought. Hey, Debbie, what's going on? James, well, the most peaceful riot. Yeah, the White House or the Capitol building wasn't burned. There was no substantial damage to it. So Nancy Pelosi's laptop was stolen. Wow. It's done in Trump's name. That's why it was a riot. But all the riots in the Democratic are just peaceful protests. Exactly, Janine. Exactly. Yep, the Black Lives Matter murders of American citizens. No play. Yep. Thanks for my bag, so pleased it arrived in Europe intact. Huh? Tricks? What are you talking about? Yeah, they forgot to bring weapons, Charles. Exactly. Nicola, what's going on? Did you see Professor? What about Professor G's video? What's it about? I saw somebody comment on a video that he did, and I commented back. They slandered me, and I gave them a warning. I noticed the comment was removed. Oh, Liberty Sentinel has a video. Oh, my video's up already. Wow, it went up an hour ago. Trump powers dominoes. Okay. Wow, that's interesting. The Biz News is already up. Wow. Wow, I already got it up. Got one dislike already. Well, it wouldn't let me like it. What the hell?
I speak to U.S. intelligence analyst, retired Colonel Chris Wyatt. Morning, Colonel.
Good morning, Chris. Wow, gosh, we have to quit meeting like this. Every time I turn around, something monumental has happened. Wow, the year started with a bang, literally, didn't it?
Well, is Venezuela just the first domino to fall? Or what is President Trump's endgame?
Well, the media is gleefully jumping on this topic around the world and saying, next is Greenland and Cuba and Iran. Well, Iran has always been on that bingo list. That's always been a target for the United States since 1979. Quite frankly, it's always shocked me that we haven't gone in and overthrown this regime. You know, a few years ago when Obama was in office, people rose up and the government slaughtered protesters while Obama did nothing. So that's up. If you guys want to watch that after this, you can go check that out in Biz News. I just did that this morning. So we'll see how that goes. I'm sure I'll get flamed by the black supremacists and the white, pink-haired, and purple-haired liberals. Yep. Okay. Should service members obey illegal orders, or is that they can't be reminded they took an oath not to obey? No, Chugsy, that was not it. That's not. No, you do not obey unlawful orders. But the video was very unclear in its guidance to soldiers, particularly junior enlisted. It was basically telling them to ignore the orders. They try to couch it in illegal, but they're basically telling soldiers to ignore the orders because they're telling soldiers to make a legal determination as to what's legal. So let me be very clear about this, Chugsy. For instance, I know that I can't murder a POW. I know that I can't torture or sexually assault a captive. You're not allowed to do that. I don't need to be told not to do that. I know that's an illegal order. If someone gives me an order like that, I will refuse to follow through. I know that I can't line up prisoners and execute them. That's unlawful. I don't need Senator Kelly telling me not to do it. What they were telling soldiers is that it's illegal for you to do a raid into Venezuela. It's illegal for you to participate in operations in Syria. It's illegal for you to patrol the streets of Los Angeles. That's what this was all about. They were fomenting insurrection and disorder in the military, and they tried to couch it in terms of those are illegal. They're not illegal. It's not illegal. Posse comitatus doesn't have applicability here. And the U.S., we take an oath to support and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. The U.S. military exists to put down insurrections in this country, not simply the National Guard. And in telling people to disobey unlawful orders, illegal orders, they were telling people that their judgment as to what is, as a politician, what is illegal. But they're not judges. So that's why he has been doing sedition. He is fomenting discord in the military. This is dangerous. Man holds the same rank as me. Very dangerous. He doesn't make nearly as much as I do in retirement, though, but he makes a lot more in the Senate. Yep. Does that make sense, Chugsy? Okay. No, it's not about electronic components, Richard. Taiwan is a matter of pride for the Chinese communists. Chiang Kai-shek fled to Formosa and founded Taiwan, and they still want to stamp out that resistance because they see themselves as one power of China. And it's not about electronic components. No. Trust me, it's not. It's not. That's just a bonus for them. And a lot of the Taiwanese production has been moving to the United States recently. Valenta Gomez running for Congress. I don't know who Valentina Gomez is. Trumpet Connor. I have no idea who she is. The guys who can't handle truth playing a loop in his car. Not sure if this is truth, but wouldn't be surprised. Saw a short saying smelling bastard that Ewan is owner of a local daycare in Ohio. Could be. These glasses are not working, man. This eye is really messed up. It's screwing me up here. Kelly left his brains in the National Space Station. I think you're right. Extend to us end user agreements and we secure the Cape of Good Hope. Yep, Timmy's been Rasooled, man. Isn't Dirk obliged to help when a South African abroad is a victim of abuse and the public protector has already ordered them to act? I would imagine so, Terry. Still don't see Mike Lindell. Yeah, well, that case is still going on. No, English language is part of the naturalization test. There is an English language test as well now they've implemented. Because the NC stands for terrorists are as they are. So what is Mandela? Okay. Only international law there is that red means stop and green means go. How can South Africa ask the UN to act against U.S. that they themselves broke international law with taking property without compensation? Well, Corey, they also broke international law by sending mercenaries to fight in Ukraine. They also broke international law by shipping combat helicopters from South Africa to a sanctioned Libyan warlord in Benghazi. Yep. I don't think they'll arrest him, but it would... Colonel... No, I don't announce if I'm coming there. What does Trump says? Colonel, what would happen if you come to South Africa? Will the ANC arrest me for what? I haven't committed any crimes. I don't commit crimes. I follow the laws of South Africa when I'm there. I know more about American history and culture than what I know about South Africa, says Alan. Oh, got you, Ronell. I misunderstood. Sorry, something came in. I got to check on this. Oh, it's... Yep. Oh, you like to chat with Nas Bota. I enjoyed it too, but I'm disappointed in viewership. Let's see how it's done. Let me take a look at that very quickly, folks. Be sure to hit the like button if you haven't done already. I don't want people to forget about that. The Nas Bota interview only has 3,000 views. Come on, we can do a lot better than that. Come on, guys. 2,900 views. We can do better than that. Here's the Nas Bota one. Let me get a link to that. If you haven't seen it, please go watch it after this. If 500 people haven't watched it, that'd be great bump for today. And that's one way that videos take off. Lady's not beating the AI allegations. She needs to learn how to pace her speaking. Matthew Diction. Yes, rugby is growing in the U.S. It's the fastest growing team sport in the world. Unfortunately, the professional level is in a little bit of trouble right now. Trixie Mostert said, we still try. We should get at least credit for that. Okay. The apartheid card has changed the Trump card. Yep. That's what I'll do, make a graphic for that. Yep, that's something else to deal with. Thank you, Sally, about the Nas interview. Sierra is safe for now. He's recognized in the international community as a legitimate leader, not like Maduro. That's correct. Since this is the year of the fire horse, this old horse going to reshoe if you don't mind. Okay. Hey, Annette Kuhn, how's it going? White Springbok players should take up refugee offer, says Buster. Why? Why? Oh, excuse me. What day is your injection? Tomorrow. Tomorrow after Ronaldo's show. After leave and get there tomorrow. After Ronaldo's show, get my injection tomorrow. I confirmed that the insurance did authorize it, so that's good. After getting hit with a $614 bill for my car yesterday. Next steps, the Ronnie Jackson bill has to go through to get it signed. It has to be debated on the floor of the House. It hasn't been done. It's up to the Speaker of the House to bring it to the floor. He hasn't done that. Yep. They haven't done anything with it. That's the problem. So how are we doing here on the stream, folks? Let's see. We got 616 people here, and we just dropped under 600 people. Sorry. We got 616 likes. Can we hit that like button? Trump power dominoes. Anyway, there's other people on at this hour. That's what's going on. We've lost people to a couple other programs. That's fine. People want to watch something else. That's their prerogative. Oh, Professor G's latest video is an hour ago where he's calling for a U.S. intervention. Well, I guess he's never worried about going to South Africa. That will definitely get him in trouble. My goodness. Oh, Rubio's live. Is that live? I think that's live now. Is it live?
Outlines and a way forward that prevents further conflict. I think I don't speak for the Israeli government. I can only tell you and echo what they've said publicly, and that is that if they feel threatened by Hezbollah, they will take actions in their defense against them. So we all would hope that we could avoid that, right? We would all hope that in order to have peace, you have to avoid that, and the best way to avoid it is to have a strong Lebanese government that can actually control the country, and that Hezbollah is no longer an armed threat to Israel or to the Lebanese state. And that's what we're committed to hoping to achieve. And we hope that, I can't speculate on what the talks will lead to, but we'll do everything we can to make them productive. On Sudan, you've rightfully outlined, I mean, there are regional elements to this. I mean, there are clearly both sides, you know, the SAF and the RSF have supporters from outside of Sudan's borders that are involved, and we've been engaging with those countries. It's not just countries that are providing them weaponry and equipment, it's also countries that are providing transshipment, particularly to the RSF to receive weapons, in some cases advanced weaponry. Our goal right now in the short term, and what we've emphasized to everybody, including in my calls with leaders in the UAE, leaders in Saudi Arabia, we're very engaged in that. Our special envoy, Massad Boulos, just returned from the region meeting with the Egyptians, with the Saudis, with the UAE and others. We've also been in collaboration with the UK on some of this. Our goal, the immediate goal we have, is a cessation of hostilities, okay? A humanitarian truce going into the new year that allows humanitarian organizations to be able to deliver aid to the people in great distress. Right now, that's not possible. We are hearing, continue to see reports of humanitarian convoys actually being struck on their way in. And so you can just imagine what's amazing to us is these convoys are struck and the rest of the convoy continues. That's how committed these groups are. But what we said to everybody on it is that what's happening there is horrifying. It's atrocious. That one day the story of what's actually happened there is going to be known and everyone involved is going to look bad. And we have played the role we have played is a convening role in bringing the parties to the table. So I think we will know more very soon about whether this is possible. One of the challenges and frustrations in Sudan has been that one side or the other will commit to certain things.
And then they back out.
And they won't live up to those commitments.
Yep.
They'll agree to anything and implement nothing. And oftentimes what happens is when one side feels like they're making advances in the battlefield, they don't necessarily see the need to concede at that point because they believe they're on the verge of achieving some success on the ground and a truce would set them back. But what we've emphasized is none of these groups can operate without the support they're receiving externally. So we have been engaging with the countries involved from the outside to ensure that they are at the table and that they are pushing for the same outcome that we want, which is phase one, a humanitarian truce that at a minimum allows us to deal with the humanitarian calamity that occurs there. And obviously we hope that while that truce is ongoing, we can focus on the other elements that led to this conflict and help to resolve some of those. But our number one priority we're focused on, 99% of our focus is this humanitarian truce and achieving that as soon as possible. And we think that the new year and the upcoming holidays are a great opportunity for both sides to agree to that. And we're really pushing very hard on that regard. Yes, sir. Right there, because I missed
Secretario
you.
Rubio, en español,
Sí.
si me permite. El presidente Trump ha llamado al presidente Gustavo Petro drug leader y ha usado, digamos, términos
Bueno, él también ha dicho cosas a nosotros.
Totalmente,
Okay,
totalmente.
Claro, okay.
Secretario Rubio, ¿hay alguna prueba o por qué esta administración llama a Gustavo Petro? Quisiera saber por qué esta administración llama a Gustavo Petro un líder de narcotráfico. Y por último, secretario, si usted considera eventualmente ante la invitación que hace Gustavo Petro ahora al presidente Trump o a usted ir a Colombia y conversar con Gustavo Petro.
Bueno, nosotros conversamos con cualquiera. Desafortunadamente es una persona que no es muy estable en su pronunciamiento. Pero no vamos a permitir que la actuación de un presidente, que al fin su término termina pronto, vaya a dañar la relación que existe entre Estados Unidos y Colombia, una relación muy cerca, una relación que se ha establecido a través de los últimos 50 años, una relación importante comercial, diplomática, militar, de seguridad, uno de los grandes.
We have an important relationship with Colombia, 25 years now.
No vamos a permitir que cualquier tipo de problema que existan con un individuo vaya a hacerle daño a esta relación tan importante. Esperemos que en el futuro exista la oportunidad de tener más cooperación.
It's not about Petro, it's about the future.
Pero no vamos tampoco a dañar, o no queremos dañar, a todas las relaciones que tenemos y los enlaces que tenemos, incluso con individuos en el cuerpo legislativo y también con oficiales
electos a nivel local, you're American Secretary of State, not Colombia's.
De diferentes lugares dentro de Colombia que también tienen muy buena relación con Estados Unidos y la amplia y estrecha relación que existe entre nuestros pueblos también. The question is again by Colombia. I said, look, we're not going to let sort of the
Petro
pronouncements of an unstable individual over there to impact we don't want to let it impact our broader relationship with Colombia. It's an important relationship, an important alliance. It extends through commercial, people to people, cultural, obviously security and stability, all of these things. And our job is to try to the extent possible, maintain those strong ties between Colombia and the United States and not allow.
So how was that, considering I don't speak Spanish? That was pretty good, huh?
Soon, in which we have better relations with the leader of that country. But we're not going to let the fact that doesn't exist now, we're going to do everything possible to not let that impact the relationships we have with the people of Colombia, with the nation, with their economy, with their security forces, which are very important. This is a very important alliance.
Interpretation of that. Pretty good, huh?
Which we've built up through a lot of hard work over decades. And we're not going to let that fall apart because of one person. If that changes and he changes, that would be great. And obviously, in May there'll be a new president there, and there'll be elections, and we'll work hopefully more cooperatively with whoever replaces the current president. But that's up to the people of Colombia. Did I not get your question? Go ahead.
Thank you. Returning to Gaza, what is the U.S. understanding of what Hamas is willing to concede on disarmament? Reports suggest that Hamas might hand over its heavy weapons, but retain its smaller arms. Is the U.S. prepared to accept partial disarmament as sufficient?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into the details of those types of negotiations. Let me just couch it to you.
Rubio has really risen to the challenge.
No one wants a return to a war.
Marco Rubio has truly risen to a challenge here. He is. I'm actually very impressed. I wasn't expecting him to be a very good Secretary of State. I was okay with his pick there, but I wasn't expecting much of him. I'm very impressed. It's pretty amazing. 639 just told me 598. I wish it'd make up its mind how many people are here. Your father lived in Venezuela. Okay. Yeah, pretty good translation for a guy not speaking Spanish. Yeah, I told you I don't speak Spanish, but obviously I can understand plenty, can't I? White and color Springboks took up the refugee offer. USA will become world championship team. That's true. He has a pair of shingles for yours. Well, not everybody's perfect. We're not all dead sexy. Anything about post 3 different ID numbers? No, I have no information on that. No information on that. Yep, most of his picks are pretty good. I agree. You're using Duolingo, okay? I don't think the U.S. will put a lot of pressure on South Africa for the next year, so Venezuela's going to keep them busy. Well, we'll see, Jacques. I mean, we'll see. The ANC just keeps poking the bear. Eventually, that can be a problem. Let me take a look and see how we're doing over here, folks. The video I did earlier about South Africa. Injectable stem cell treatments into joints. I've asked about that before I had my hip cut into. I was told that that's not really in a good enough stage yet. So, yeah. Wow, the number of people watching per hour has dropped by half, but it's still 5,000 per hour. So what are we up to? Come on, YouTube. Very slow. I like the graphic. It's 25,000 watched it. So, yep. But I like the graphic. It came with Trump striding over Latin America and over South Africa. The only problem is that Ramaphosa was supposed to be in South Africa and not in Latin America, trying to get his attention. 2026 will be interesting. 2025 was the find out. F around. 26 will be the, yeah, okay, gotcha. F around and the find out. Yep. Yeah, no, Marco Rubio has been absolutely amazing. I got to say that I'm very impressed by Marco Rubio. I mean, I have a lot more confidence in him now than I ever had as a senator. I wasn't impressed as a senator. I would choose Rubio over Vance too. I think so. Vance is an empty shell as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, Rubio would be my choice over him if I had that choice. No, Ingrid, a lot of people like to see Ramaphosa keep poking the bear. Yep. Let me see how my short did. What was the short? I'll begin arriving in the USA again. Yep. So let me see what people have to say about that. That one has 4,200 views. 38 comments. Okay. Okay. That's mostly nice stuff. There's usually somebody stupid saying something stupid, but I didn't see anything there. All right. Last night I had to end the Night Owls early because I was on Caravan to Midnight with John B. Wells. They were very happy with my appearance there last night. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, so it was very kind of them. to invite me on last night, short notice. And then this morning I did business, so that's good to be in demand. It's interesting. I've had indications that there are U.S. media outlets that are watching my content, and they're contacting people in positions of authority organizations in South Africa, and I'll leave it at that, and asking them for their comments on issues that I've raised, news stories that I've broken. So the U.S. media, like the New York Times and others, have been contacting folks in South Africa for their comments on stories that I break. They don't contact me. It's this intentional effort that goes beyond YouTube to suppress the truth. They don't contact me. Strong Boy, I don't know when he's going to reply. But I mean, they're really pushing hard to get him to reply soon. I mean, South Africans want that reply. The ANC wants that reply. Yes, Alan, lots of big things are coming. I can confirm, ladies, less than and John Wills last night. Enjoyed very much. Thank you, Ingrid. Well, it doesn't look like the Democrats want to shut down. There's enough Democrats that seem to be hanging around with Republicans, so we'll have to see what happens. But I think the chances of it are slimmer now than they were a couple days ago. Well, Martin Williams Bernard, you have to pay to listen to the content on their platform. On YouTube, they remove all their videos so they don't get strikes. As soon as their broadcast is done, they remove the video. So you have to listen to it live, which is a weird thing, but the content they produce, they know they're going to get in trouble. So that's kept them out of trouble with YouTube. Although they had a strike recently, so... That's why, Leslie, the video is not available because they take it down as soon as it's played. You have to go to John B. Wells' website, Caravan of Midnight, look it up, and you probably have to pay for access, as far as I know. Jean-Andre only joined the channel last few days. You talk a lot about the refugee situation, but do you think South Africans will still be able to apply for work? What? What do you mean South Africans will be able to apply for work? Or are you talking about H-2A visas? Is that what you're talking about? We have a 4% unemployment rate. Of course they'll be able to apply. Jean-Andre Jacobs, are you talking about... See... You ran out of space there, probably out of characters. Are you talking about H-2A visas? I assume that's what you're talking about. That's right, G9. They won't contact me because that would be admitting I'm better than them. And so I continue to do this free. I've added up the money. It's about $1 million, $1 million US, 17 million rand in free consulting that I've provided South Africans this year. That's a conservative estimate of my time. In 2025, $1 million in consulting income that I forewent. I could have become independently wealthy. Well, Rohan, it takes money for that. It takes backing. Okay, no need to apologize, Andre. I just your question wasn't clear. Yes, you'll still be able to apply for H-2B visas, although rumors around the ANC is trying to stop that from happening. I don't know how they do that. After you didn't buckle in mainstream information, yeah. You're right, James. I'm difficult because I don't play. Homie, don't play the misinformation game. Amanda, my prediction on the U.S. ambassador coming to South Africa is probably the third week of January. I've been saying that since we had confirmation in mid-December. Yeah, that's right. Kasatu doesn't have anything to strike for. There are no jobs. They can't strike. They are too lazy to make their own content. They just leech on your analysis. Exactly. Yeah, but then they write their own narrative. But at least they have the facts and they know how to twist them and lie about them. We appreciate you, Chris, even though I don't get any notification more. Well, JSA Africa, you've got to join one of the WhatsApp groups or the Telegram group, which is better. Just join one of those, and you'll get every video gets published in there, and then you'll know. Also, be consistent. Unless I'm traveling, I always broadcast at 6 p.m. South Africa time. I adjust my day to conform to South Africa, and also at the current time at 10 o'clock. I mean, at 5 o'clock in the morning South Africa time. That's just for right now. A trucker. Why would I be a trucker? Might just get enough votes from South Africans in the U.S. that will get you a seat in the Senate. No, it doesn't work that way. There aren't enough of you for that. Yeah, I need about 1.5 million votes in Pennsylvania from South Africans, and there aren't that many of you here. Do you think that the government will reject the ambassador? No, I don't think they will. There's no basis for it. It would be a provocation of unprecedented order. But then so was the raid on Woodmead. The raid on Woodmead was an unprecedented provocation by the South African government. Yep, that was uncalled for and highly inappropriate. Highly inappropriate. It was highly inappropriate.
Yeah, it's the 16th of December. The sun is high, the waves are blue. everybody's chilling in Bolito. Someone's got something else to do. Down in Durban, they're soaking up the spray. It's a holiday, baby, reconciliation day. Nobody's at the office, nobody's on the clock, except for the agents heading down the block. They're swarming through the hallways, looking for a file, losing all the rhythm, losing all the style. In a wood-made office, the air turns cold. A story's being written that's already getting old. Demanding every paper, searching for a name. Intimidation is the spirit of the game. They said, where are the Americans? We need them in a row. But then they changed the script for the midday show. It was the raid on Woodmead under a summer sky. A holiday hustle, a convenient little lie. They said, Hakuna Matata, don't you be afraid. We only want the canyons, it was quite the masquerade. Oh, the raid on Woodmead, relations take a fall. Building up the tension, building up the wall. Now Ronald's got a scheme in home affairs, is talking fast, trying to make a holiday work ethic really last. The public's looking sideways, the logic doesn't flow. Working on a Friday, on a holiday, no. Was the KFC closed? Was there nothing left to eat? Is that why the uniforms are out on the street? Somebody doxed a diplomat, his secrets on the loose. Now Washington is tightening the diplomatic news. Beijing says it wasn't me. Washington says we shall see. A stumble, a tumble, a diplomatic crack. Once you cross that line, there's no turning back. No turning back. It was the raid on Woodmead under a summer sky. A holiday hustle, a convenient little lie. They said, Hakuna Matata, don't you be afraid. We only want the canyons, it was quite the masquerade. Oh, the raid on Woodmead, relations take a fall. Building up the tension, building up the wall.
The raid on Woodmead, a day that will live in infamy in South Africa. Jared Horn, you were going to confirm something. I confirmed that I'm coming to Texas.
Raid on Woodmead under a summer sky. A holiday hustle, a convenient little lie. They said, Hakuna Matata, don't you be afraid. We only want the canyons, was quite the masquerade. Oh, the raid on Woodmead, relations take a fall. Building up the tension, building up the wall. Building up the wall. Yeah, check the calendar. Reconciliation doesn't feel like it in Woodmead. Keep your papers ready, mate. Hakuna Matata. Right? Don't coot in bed. Yeah.
All right, Pete Hegseth. Disingenuous? Okay, well, that's because you're ignorant. You're unaware. Ad revenue? The amount of money I made from this channel has not made up the $50,000 I've spent on it the past 5 years. It's profitable this year for my expenses, but it isn't profitable for the 6 years I've been doing this. So number one, you're factually wrong. Let's correct that. Number two, I make between $250 and $1,000 per hour for my consulting services. A person with my skill set and my experience is extremely rare and very much in demand. I've turned down 6 jobs now that pay north of $200,000 per year. That's not related to this. I have spent thousands of hours of my time this year answering emails, talking to people, answering their questions, providing services to them, doing meet and greets. You think I'm not talking about revenue from the YouTube channel. Dude, the amount of money I make from this YouTube channel is a joke. It's a joke. First off, the 100,000 subscribers, half of them are South Africa. Do you know what I get from South African ad revenue? Nothing. Nothing. When Americans watch a program, I make 8 times as much money. When Brits watch my program and watch the ads, I get 7 times as much money. But I don't have that many subscribers from there. So disingenuous, you're the one that's disingenuous. You're uninformed. You're uninformed. Uninformed. I work 18 hours a day, 7 days a week. And this year, over half that time or more has been devoted to helping refugees at no compensation whatsoever. So that's a fact. If you don't believe me, that's your issue. That's your issue, not mine. Disingenuous? No, I'm never disingenuous. That's a lie. That's a lie. You have no idea what you're talking about. No idea what you're talking about. And I have had dozens, hundreds of people at this point offer to pay me for the services, and I've offered nothing. Just this morning, I was talking to someone who's involved in this program and said, you've been doing all this stuff for free for the U.S. government. That's why I talked about that. I said, yeah. And I said, for the refugees, tell people, keep the truth out there. And they said, we need to find a way to get you a revenue stream for this. And I said, no, I'm not asking for a revenue stream. Not asking for one. But when I tell you that I've foregone $1 million of revenue, if I had done consulting like that so-called Canadian immigration expert who appeared on Newsroom Africa earlier this year, dissing this program, lying about what it was, calling it asylum, and saying that if you have a refugee stamp in your passport, it's a black mark, you can't go anywhere, it's a bad thing to have. When that clown came on, if I did what he did, I would have been wealthy beyond imagination at this point. Trust me. Trust me. So no, disingenuous, no. You're the one being disingenuous, or you're just uninformed, and now you've been set straight. Once again, Pete Hicks said, you're just a troll. Okay, we're not going to play your silly game. I just explained it to you. Are you thick in the head? Is it hard for you to understand what I just explained? Dude, this couple hours on camera is a drop in the bucket of what I do every day. Good God. Seriously. David Ferrer. Oh, look, there's 200 Rand. Thank you. See, here's the other thing that the guy doesn't understand. As I've said many times, first off, for every dollar that comes through YouTube, whether it's ad revenue or it's a super chat, first off, if it's a super chat or membership, it's a 30% deduction. They give you 70 cents on the dollar for that. For ad revenue, you get 55 cents on the dollar. From that 70% of that $1, then I give 48% of my income, 49% to the government of the U.S., the Social Security Administration, and to the state of Pennsylvania. 49% of that income. That means of the 70 cents for a super chat, I get 34 cents. 34 cents. 34 cents of every dollar actually gets to me. And from that 34 cents, I pay for all these things. I pay $300 a month for my internet. I built my custom computer. I pay for all my travel. Sometimes people provide accommodation for me. That's kind. There are exceptions. CNN paid for my flight this year, and then CakeNet paid for my flight to Idaho. Dude, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. You're just trolling. You're just trolling. Anyway, if you don't like it, then don't be here. If you think that I'm making tons of money, that's whatever. I just proved you wrong. I just proved you wrong. Yeah, exactly. I just proved you wrong. Prove to me how I haven't offered that kind of service. You don't follow my day. You don't see my calendar. You don't know the place I go. You don't know the people I talk about. Here's emails from last night. This is just a fraction of the emails I'm addressing from last night. Community support by ex-South Africans in Colorado. Little assistance support. Greetings and introduction. Yeah, this is something different, okay? But that's South African. Colonel Wyatt, I want to help with South Africans. Struggles of this family in Alaska. Dual citizenship question for this person. This is request for interview. There's no super chat money for taking my time reading these emails, addressing them, answering the questions, researching it. Extremely concerned. Urgent, under review, administrative hold status. That is just a handful of the emails I dealt with last night. Never mind the 200 WhatsApp messages I answered today. It's okay. Let him troll, because that just gives me time to show people they have no idea what I do, what I go through. Yeah, just looking for attention. These are like the haters that, from the Scott Balson refugee retards. Yeah. I have PayPal, Carl, and I don't show it very often, but people ask about it. So since the troll is making a big deal about it, let's go ahead and show you the PayPal if anybody wants to send PayPal. Some people do send me PayPal. I have a PayPal, yeah, and I do prefer that but it doesn't cut out the federal taxes. I mean, the amount of money I paid in taxes is ridiculous. The federal government gives all my money to other people, so where the hell is that thing at? Find it there quickly. I love how he said that people haven't proved me wrong. I just proved him wrong. I just proved him wrong. Where the hell is PayPal at now? See, I can't even find it. That's how seldom I use the damn thing. I had it up last week because people were asking about it. Where's it at? There it is. Got it finally. There you go. There's the PayPal. Well, yeah, we've got Bob here. Let's find Bob. I can find Bob. Bob was easy to find. There he is. There he is. Yeah, Chugsy, I could deal with a GSA contract, but I haven't sought one. Exactly. Nobody has any right to say what I do with my money or how I make my money as long as I do it legally. Nobody has any say whatsoever. Hey, Arctic. No, it's a chance to explain this. Buy Me Coffee is a thieving operation. They're thieves. Buy Me Coffee stole my money. Buy Me Coffee stole my money. They never gave it back. They took it out of my account. I had like $100 in there, and the fucking thieves stole it. Yep. Nobody broke in my account. Buy Me Coffee took it. And I asked, where's my money? And they gave me mealy-mouthed excuses, never gave it back. So donations from Brett Sessoms and one from Hendo, they stole it. Hendo gave me like a $5 donation to Buy Me Coffee. They stole it. Buy Me Coffee is a disreputable piece of shit operation. I'm not going to answer that question willy-nilly. That's somebody's personal situation. I didn't tell you the email addresses of these people. You can see I highlighted these things. Lots of highlights in here where I talk the key points. Yep. Exactly. Thank you. But I'm not going to talk about that case. All right, Andres Muller. Cool. Just leave my dollars in your couch alone. Southern export ban of cars and coal will be delightful once we are hopeful about the future. Now millions out of South Africa laughing, saying burn. No, Willie. It's okay. It's okay. I didn't take offense. I'm just saying I'm not going to read that case to you. There's lots of cases that have that situation. And usually the problem is the stupid portal. The portal is the problem. Portal's giving people sleepless nights. Ignore the portal. Pay no attention to the portal. Do your interviews. Do your medical. Get it all done. Get your house in order. Wait to be called. That's your path. That's your path. All this other stuff is just nonsense. All right, I'll take off the PayPal now. All right, I'll see it didn't work properly. Anyway, point he fails to understand, as the Colonel explained, is that the Colonel should be charging for services isn't. If people don't, yeah, exactly. See, that's the thing. Now, thank you very much for that. The ad revenue, the super chats that I'm making, is a drop in the bucket of what I should have made if I charge people. And say, for the guy to call me disingenuous, he's just a fucktard, is what he is. He's just rude and disrespectful, or stupid and dim-witted. One of the two. I was very tolerant and didn't call him names until now, but I've had enough of his nonsense. Exactly right. I could have charged for the services. I guess didn't really understand that. Happily employed where his hard work's appreciated. Oh, I understand what you're writing here. Yeah, the portal is just a nightmare. Thank you for that, Neff, for putting that in clear language. That's exactly right. That was my point. I didn't charge people for the services. I could have charged them. So I didn't say I didn't make money. I said I forewent. That meant, you forego something, you go without. And so that guy tried to turn to some bullshit where I claimed I wasn't getting any money. Never claimed that. I've been upfront with people all along. I tell you whether I'm making money or not in this channel, and I didn't make money for 5 years. Now, I had revenue, but I mean, I was warned by the IRS last year in my latest tax return after 5 years of consecutive losses in my media portion of my consulting business that I was going to be due for an audit if I continued to have losses, which is fair. I mean, some of these things like these Minnesota daycare centers are just freaking, money laundering outfits. You should be auditing them, but I'm not doing that. My expenses are legitimate. That's why they didn't audit me. But they said, hey, if you keep having losses, you're going to get audited. Yep. Thankfully, this year I don't. Without you guys, when I've had my daughter here now to receive a first world treatment. Okay, awesome, Rohan. Trolls like to change the direction of the conversation, take control and steer it in the direction in which yes, we turn. Well, I'm at the subject to hand. We're talking about it right now. I already talked about that guy. The embassy, there's a march by South End Communist Party on the 8th. Yep. It has not been 42 years after apartheid. No, you're mistaken. 1992, in essence, is when it ended. So that's 33 years. You know what, Colonel? You're the last person to have to explain themselves. Thank you, Helena. Appreciate it. Mr. Echo, what's going on, man? Thank you, Neff. I appreciate that. Anyway, so yeah, these commies are going to march. They're going to march. I'll get rid of Rubio. I don't need that. Biz News. Joe Rogan reacts to young liberals guessing which politician. These liberals, they don't know what they're talking about. Anyway, so why would you get audited for the losses? What does that have to do with the IRS? Because I've lowered my income. So if you have a business, you have capital outlays, you can amortize the capital outlays. If you have operating expenses, you can lower your revenue. So for instance, if it cost me $3,500 to fly to South Africa, which is what it cost last time, that's a business expense. The rental car for $350 or $400, let's go with that. Let's go $500. So $500 for rental car and $3,500, that's $4,000 in expenses. Then the petrol to travel around, then the hotel cost, then technically I can include the meals, but I never claim the meals. I don't claim the meals. I have to eat anyway. I never understood that whole thing. I mean, in the military we get per diem, but I'm not going to claim money for meals even though it's more expensive because I still had to eat anyway. But I didn't have to go to this place. I didn't have to travel there and I didn't have to do this. So for business, I had to do it. So that $4,000 is $4,000. If it's a legitimate expense, it gets lowered off my income. So by lowering that off my income, that takes 280 times 4, 560. It's $1,120 of tax I wouldn't have to pay because it means I didn't make that $1,120. I didn't make that $4,000. So that's $1,120 of taxation less that I have to pay. Does that make sense? That's why the IRS would audit you, because people claim all sorts of things. I know people who go to lunch, they invite a friend over, and they call it a business lunch. They deduct the business expense. That to me is fraud. I won't do that. So I've never claimed meals. Never. I claim communications when I buy SIM cards or airtime. That counts. When I have to pay for internet, when I have to pay for hotels, for lodging, rental cars, all that's legitimate business expenses. All the subscriptions that I have are all legitimate. That doesn't mean I get the money back. It just means I lower my income by the cost. I spend, last year, let me take a look at this, just so you guys have an idea. I think a lot of people don't really appreciate things. Let me just, I've got my taxes here somewhere. Taxes. Let me look at this last year. I got last year's here. Okay, last year I spent $5,202 for subscriptions and communications. $5,000 for communications. Yep. Now, I've been funding this all out of my pocket, never with the intent of ever actually making any money. I enjoy what I'm doing. $5,200 times 17 Rand. It's 88,000 Rand for communications. I don't even include my internet in that. I don't even claim my internet because I use it at home too. But I could claim the $300 for the internet, but I don't even do that. That would be another $3,000 plus. So that's just communications last year. And I have the itemized list here. For travel, for air tickets last year, I spent $4,000. Yep, that was a good guess on that, $4,000. Then rental cars was $1,200. Petrol, $250. Yeah, and the list goes on and on. Yep. So that's just last year's expenses. Yep. Yeah, declared as tips. Well, technically, the way that the consulting or the money paid from YouTube was considered tips. That's how they were doing it for a while. Now that it's not being taxed anymore, they've changed the consultant income. Yeah, taxes aren't that hard when you arrive. It's when you start having things it gets more complicated. You know, there's always truth. Don't have time for people like that. Yep. You can claim a refund, not a refund, but you can claim a deduction. It's not a refund. You can claim a deduction for certain professional clothing. And if it's like a band, if you're a band and part of your shtick is, you know, Kiss outfits, they could actually technically claim that. Yep. Yep. You know, mass subscriber base just to cover your flight tickets. Oh, they do. They way overestimate what YouTube makes. Like I said, I spent over $50,000 on the channel in 6 years. $50,000. That's my savings and that was my choice. And while I was being shadow banned and being, you know, my original channel being taken down, so you know, whatever. Anyway, it is what it is. People don't like it, they can go watch something else. I would like to thank ANC for their comedic contribution to this evening's news report. Yeah, they definitely did. Yeah, you can get tax classes in America. They want to make me angry. I'm not angry. I just think the guy's silly. Blue Flame can't wait to meet me. Hopefully we'll fly soon. Been waiting for a travel for a while. Okay, good luck with that. You don't have to explain yourself. You're pissed. You're pissed as in angry, or you're pissed as in you've had too much to drink, Frank? Francois, thank you, the 40 rand. How are you pissed? Are you pissed as in, let's get pissed? Or are you just angry? It is an expensive hobby, Trump and Connor. Eddie, thank you for your subscription, man. Yep, that's all I asked for people to do is subscribe. Subscribe. Okay, we said we were going to make a song, didn't we? You guys still up for a song? Cross on your behalf. Oh, thank you, Francois. No, it's okay. I appreciate that. Yeah, yeah. They should audit all those places in Minnesota. Yep. Yep. Tax goes 10%, which you have to pay 90%. How to legally not have to pay? Well, that's one view on it. Go Trump. Song. Okay, let's do the song. So what did I write down? I wrote down a couple of them. The first one is, let's do Tampon Timmy. Yeah. Okay. No, free yawn. Free. We'll do free yawn. Okay. Yeah. Total income minus expenses, income you have to pay tax on. Exactly. That's basically what it is. But we also get a standard deduction if you're married, single. If you're married, filing separately, you have a certain amount. Sorry. That amount this year, I think, is like $31,500. You just take off the top of your income. Yep. Your tax explanation makes absolute sense. Even South Africa would have saving grace, since where do actual taxes go? Is your picture on your correct PayPal and avatar with a dark beard? No. No, that's fraud. That's fraud. That's fraud. That's fraud. That's not me. Nope, that's a fraudulent account. I did a video on this recently. Do not go there. My PayPal has a Teutonic Knight on it. Yeah. So, and the reason I did that a long time ago, so now someone is trying to make money. I told PayPal about it. They've not done anything about it. I reported the fraud. It's not my account. So let me get to my PayPal. Yeah, don't send money there, folks. But first off, I just showed you the email address on here. This is the email address. So if you look at that one, it says at Colonel Chris Wyatt. Well, that's not my email for PayPal. The only purpose of that email is for PayPal. So do not send money to that. Yeah, if you're going to send me PayPal, do not send money to that other one. That's fraudulent, and it's a fraud. Proudly South African is a hate wanker, dude. You really need to, really need to take care of yourself there. You got some real serious personal issues there, buddy. All right, racist propaganda channel. No, it's not. You're the racist. You're the racist. No one's talking about race here. You came in to talk about race because you're the racist. Propaganda, not propaganda. Nothing but facts here, man. Nothing but facts. Good job, Moz. I don't know how that works, Brian. You might have to just say that they're not available, or you can ask if they can dial in from there, okay? All right? Yeah, anime, I get chastised. People's feelings hurt because I talked about the member all the time. Anyway, let's get to the song, okay? Let's make a song now, okay? So, all right, here we go. I need to get new. All right, so we're going to do a free yawn. It's going to take a little effort because I have to do this phonetically. I have to do it phonetically. So, Jan van Riebeck is going to be spelled very differently. Fun. I need to watch the Colonel at 4 a.m. to see the dedication he has for us. Yep. If you want to do it, trolls always target the truth because they don't like it. Yep. Yep. We make sure his son doesn't get placed in a learning center. That's good. Yeah. Dutch East India Company. Okay. Okay. Where's a little gangster, as it were? Come on. There are certain tricks you have to do this in order to get the right pronunciation. Speed, who's Speed? Thank you very much for that 140 Rand. Hit me with your best shot. Oh yeah, Pat Benatar. Hit me with your best shot. Fire away. Poor old Jan say about, yeah, exactly. Can't spell this word in English. I can think of it in German. I can't do it. There we go. Got it. I got one letter off. This is going to look good, I think. Things are going a bit better. What's this? Thank you. America needs a Trump card and President Trump enter the picture. Yep. I'm a vampire. Peoples. How are you doing over here? Hit me with your rhythm stick. It's drizzling a fog. That's interesting. Okay. All right, got it. Okay, what's that? Someone just did something here. Sorry. We got, oh, thank you for your membership. Knowledge group. Platoon leader, too. Thank you for that. All right, so I've got it. I just got to get a couple spelling things here. Got my lyrics. Okay, and I need to create. Okay, got it. I think that'll work. Okay. Got it. All right. Copy. Let me go over here and work on this now. You guys are still with me, hopefully? Okay, okay, let's see how it goes. Okay, oh, come on now, I hate when it does this. Okay. 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 Let's see what happens. Drip Room Nurse Ramley said she wanted a stick, fight me in the car park. A stick, sick as I was, I told her not to be a coward. We'd do it in the drip room. I wonder if these people realize that Jan van Riebeck only stayed in for 10 years. Yep. Okay. Let's see what happens here. All right, now we're going to have this song in just a matter of moments, folks. Your patience could be rewarded. Let's see how it goes. Okay. All right. Advanced options. I want female vocals. There we go. All right, cool. Let's see what happens. All right, here we go, folks. Patience. We've still got 400 people here. Francois Huimilis. Okay. Trump has enough soldiers in South Africa. He must fetch us. The mission's completed. Okay. All right, so let's see how it goes. Trading in the Jan card for a Trump card. Let's see. This should be fun. I made it whimsical, okay? Good night, Pete. You could have hung around for a couple more minutes. The song's almost here, man. Come on. Come on. Hang on, man. It's going to be here in just a second. 451 now. We went from 410. That's way over the place. YouTube is playing games with my numbers here. All right, let's see what we get. Got two versions of this. Here we go. Trading in the Jan card for a Trump card. Let's see if I got the right phonetic. Got to see if I got the right phonetic pronunciation, because I had to spell it differently to see if we got Jan van Riebeck, okay?
For 300 years he was the only name, the guy in the hat who took all winners parade. Every single debt was a price Jan paid. Oh, the history books are getting a rest. We found a new guy to put to the test. Put away the portrait, stow the old quill. There's a brand new villain for the political bill. We're trading in the young card for a trump card. It's a shiny new way to play the blame.
Oh, this rocks.
The power going out is the road full of holes. Don't look at the budget or the voter polls. Just flip that card, see the golden hair. The dawn's the reason for the wear and tear. Yeah, we're trading in the young card for a trump card today. The infrastructure's crumbling, the taps are running dry. But don't ask how and don't ask why. Forget the years of the same old crew. The orange man in DC, it's coming for you. Inequality is rising, it's a Mar-a-Lago plot. He's so mean and evil, believe it or not. The original gangster is out of the door, cause Jan Van Riebeek isn't trendy no more. He's the new scapegoat, the fresh alibi.
I don't like this part.
Whenever the promises turn to
I don't like this part.
America's mean, the world is so cold. It's the greatest story that's ever been told. Take your card, play your part. We're trading in the young card for a trump card. We're trading in the yacht card for a trump card. It's a shiny new way to play the blame game hard. Is the power going out? Is the road full of holes? Don't look at the budget or the voter polls. Just flip that card, see the golden hair. The dawn's the reason for the wear and tear. Yeah, we're trading in the yacht card for a trump card. See you later. Bye bye, Jan. See you later. Hello, Don. You're the hater. It's all his fault now. Every single bit of it. Check the card, baby.
That's the first version. Here's the second one. Oh, I like the start of this one. I got one mistake where I put Jan instead of Jan with a Y.
For 300 years he was the only name. The guy in the hat who took all of the blame. Poor old Jan with his Dutchies fleet, setting up shop on a Cape Town street. The ANC had a favorite line: if things go wrong, it's the Jan made design. From the Goonie trek to the winners parade, every single debt was a price Jan paid. Oh, the history books are getting a rest. We found a new guy to put to the test.
I like this one better.
Put away the portrait, stow the old quill. There's a brand new villain for the political bill. Hey, we're trading in the Jan card for a trump card. It's a shiny new way to play the blame game hard. Is the power going out? Is the road full of holes? Don't look at the budget or the voter polls. Just flip that card, see the golden hair. The dawn's the reason for the wear and tear. Yeah, we're trading in the Jan card for a trump card today. The infrastructure's crumbling, the taps are running dry. But don't ask how and don't ask why. Forget the years of the same old crew. The orange man in DC is coming for you. Inequality's rising, it's a Mar-a-Lago plot. He's so mean and evil, believe it or not. The original gangster is out of the door, cause Jan Van Riebeek isn't trendy no more.
Got a sax in there. I love it.
He's the new scapegoat, the fresh alibi. Whether the promises turn to a lie. America's mean, the world is so cold. It's the greatest story that's ever been told. Get your card, play your part, get home. Just flip that card, see the golden hair. The dawn's the reason for the wear and tear. Yeah, we're trading in the Jan card for a trump card today.
I'm loving this one.
Check the card, baby.
There you go, folks. That's pretty good, huh? That's good. Guess what? I'm going to do an Afrikaans version now. We'll see how this goes, okay? Because I don't have time to think this up in Afrikaans, so I'm going to use a translator just because I want to see how it goes. There we go. Come on, there we go. Paste. All right, let's see what happens. This should be good. Let's see how it goes in Afrikaans, man. You guys, I need you to hang around and tell me how this comes out in Afrikaans, because I didn't translate any of this. I just relied on a translator. So we'll see what happens. All right, let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Okay. Paste. Okay. Oh, wow. Now I learned what giggle is in Afrikaans. I didn't know that's what it was called. That's funny. Sometimes you learn things. Okay, here we go. I'm going to try it in Afrikaans now. Advanced options. Come on, here. I went female. Okay, got it. Cool. Yeah, I know, Charles. I want to hear it too. I got to edit this one, though, so I got to change it to Jan. Edit. Where's the edit at? Oh, that's the edit there. Okay. Come on. Oh, I can't do it that way. Okay. Okay, we're going to see how it sounds in Afrikaans. Then we're going to wrap up because we've been going at this for a while. So here we go, folks. You ready? You ready? You ready for the Afrikaans? You tell me if it sucks, okay? My last Afrikaans song came out really, really well, but I wasn't trying to be whimsical. Let's see how this one goes.
Vir 300 jaar was hy die enigste naam, die ou in die hoed wat al die skuld geneem het. Arme ou Jan met sy Nederlandse oosvloot, vestig winkel op 'n straat in Kaapstad. Die ANC het 'n gunsteling reël gehad, as dinge verkeerd loop is dit 'n Jan gemaakte ontwerp. Van die moenie trek tot die wenners parade, elke enkele skuld was 'n prys wat Jan betaal het. Voorkoor. O, die geskiedenisboeke kry rus. Ons het 'n nuwe ou gevind om op die proef te stel. Sit die portret weg. Bære die ou veerpin. Daar is 'n splinternuwe skak vir die politieke wetsontwerp. Koor, ons verruil die Jan-kaart vir 'n Trump-kaart. Dis die blinknuwe manier om die Blamspel hard te speel. Gaan die krag uit, is die pad vol gate. Moenie na die begroting of die kieserspeilings kyk nie. Draai net daar die kaart om, sien die goue hare, die
Sukkie!
vir die sluit.
Sukkie! Tyd om te sukkie!
Die Jan-kaart vir 'n Trump-kaart. Die infrastruktuur verkrummel, die krane loop leeg. Maar moenie vra hoe en moenie vra hoekom nie. Vergeet die jare van dieselfde ou groep. Die oranje man en Daisy kom vir jou. Ongelykheid styg, dis 'n Mar-a-Lago komplot. Hy is so gemeen en boos, glo dit of nie. Die oorspronklike gangster is uit-ideer, want Jan van Riebeeck is nie meer moordnieuws nie. Brug is die nuwe sondebok. Die vars, allebei. Wanneer die beloftes in 'n leuen verander, koers sluit aan. Amerika is gemeen, die wêreld is so koud. Dis die beste storie wat nog ooit vertel is. Kry jou kaart, speel jou deel, gitaar, sing dit is solo. Ons ruil die Jan-kaart vir 'n Trump-kaart. Dis die alles sy skuld, elke liewe bietjie daarvan. Kyk na die kaart, baba.
Laaste vonkel in die sintklokkie.
That's the first version. Here's the second version. That was good.
Vir 300 jaar was hy die enigste naam. Die ou in die hoed wat al die skuld geneem het, arme ou Jan. Met sy Nederlandse oosvloed, Westig winkel op 'n straat in Kaapstad. Die ANC het 'n gunsteling reël gehad. As dinge verkeerd loop, is dit 'n Jan gemaakte ontwerp. Van die Unie trek tot die wennersparade, elke enkele skuld was 'n prys wat Jan betaal het. Voorkoor. Die geskiedenisboeke kry rus. Ons het 'n nuwe ou gevind om op die proef te steel. Sy die portret wegberre die ou veerpunt, daar se splinter mee verskak vir die politieke wetsontwerp. Koor. Ons verruil die Jankaart vir 'n trampkaart. Dis die blink nuwe manier om die blamspel hard te speel. Gaan die krag uit, is die pad vol gate. Moenie na die begroting of die kieserspelings kyk nie. Draai net daar die kaart om, sien die goue hare, die don is die rede vir die sluitasie. Ja, ons verhou vandag die Jankaart vir 'n trampkaart.
I like the first one better.
Infrastruktuur verkrummel, die krane loop leeg.
First one's better.
Maar moenie vra hoe en moenie vra hoekom nie. Vergeet die jare van dieselfde ou groepie oranje man in DC kom vir jou. Ongelykheid styg tussen Mar-a-Lago kom bloot. Hy is so gemeen en boos, glo dit of nie. Die oorspronklike gangster is uit die deur. Want Jan van Riebeeck is nie meer Mortius nie.
First one's much better. It sounds like some kind of lost 60s song.
Hy is die nuwe sondebok, die vars albei, wanneer die beloftes in 'n leuen verander. Koers sluit aan, Amerika is gemeen, die wêreld is so koud. Dis die beste storie wat nog ooit vertel is. Kry jou kaart, speel jou deel. Gitaar, koor. Ons ruil die Jankaart vir 'n trampkaart. Dis die blink nuwe manier om die blamspel hard te speel. Gaan die krag uit, is die pad vol gate. Moenie na die begroting of die kieserspelings kyk nie. Draai net daar die kaart om, sien die goue hare, die don is die rede vir die sluitasie. Ja, ons ruil vandag die Jankaart vir 'n trampkaart.
First one's better.
Dis die blink nuwe manier om die blamspel hard te speel. Gaan die krag uit, is die pad vol gate. Moenie na die begroting of die kieserspelings kyk nie. Draai net daar die kaart om, sien die goue hare, die don is die rede vir die sluitasie. Ja, ons ruil vandag die Jankaart vir 'n trampkaart. Totsiens Jan. Sien jou later. Hallo Don.
Sien jou later.
Dis nou alles sy skuld. Elke liewe bietjie daarvan gesproke met 'n lag. Kyk na die kaart, papa. Laaste vonkel in 'n sintklokkie.
No, I don't like this one. This one sounds like somewhat COPD. They can't breathe. Talking at the end there. I like the other one better. Much better. Okay. Oh, there's the poll. The poll's up. Yeah, poor old Jan. That was good, huh? Yeah, no, that'd be Robbie Vessels would be great to sing that. That'd be fantastic. Or Jack Parrow, that'd be great too. Yeah. That's pretty good stuff. Has Maduro got room for Cyril to bunk up in Guantanamo? Play for uns Mensa. Yeah. Okay, like the first one. So yeah, most people like the first one. You guys want to hear the first one again? Do you want to hear the first one more time? Anybody want to hear the first one? Let me know. We'll do it again if you want to hear it again. Okay, I just got to get back here and download. I want to save these lyrics here that I came up with. There we go. Hold on. Bridge. So I know what bridge is now. It's brug. Yep. Okay, you guys want to hear it again? Okay, we're going to play it again. Okay, here we go. Here we go. We're going to play that again. I thought that was awesome, man. So we do it now for cons. Here we go. Here you go.
Vir 300 jaar was hy die enigste naam, die ou in die hoed wat al die skuld geneem het. Arme ou Jan met sy Nederlandse oosvloot, vestig winkel op 'n straat in Kaapstad. Die ANC het 'n gunsteling reël gehad, as dinge verkeerd loop is dit 'n Jan gemaakte ontwerp. Van die moenie trek tot die wenners parade, elke enkele skuld was 'n prys wat Jan betaal het voor koor.
Price he paid. Poor Jan.
O, die geskiedenisboeke kry rus. Ons het 'n nuwe ou gevind om op die proef te stel. Sit die portret weg. Bære die ou
Sounds like a
veer.
Tani, man.
Daar is 'n splinternuwe skak vir die politieke wetsontwerp. Koor, ons verruil die Jan-kaart vir 'n Trump-kaart. Dis die blinknuwe manier om die blamspel hard te speel. Gaan die krag uit, is die pad vol gate. Moenie na die begroting of die kieserspeilings kyk nie. Draai net daar die kaart om, sien die goue hare. Die dom is die rede vir die slytas. Ja, ons verruil vandag die Jan-kaart vir 'n Trump-kaart. Die infrastruktuur verkrummel, die krane loop leeg. Maar moenie vra hoe en moenie vra hoekom nie. Vergeet die jare van dieselfde ou groep. Die oranje man in Desie kom vir jou. Ongelykheid styg, dis 'n Mar-a-Lago komplot. Hy is so gemeen en boos, glo dit of nie. Die oorspronklike gangster is uit-ideer, want Jan van Riebeeck is nie meer moordnieuws nie. Brug is die nuwe sondeboek. Die vars allebei. Wanneer die beloftes in 'n leuen verander, koers sluit aan. Amerika is gemeen, die wêreld is so koud. Dis die beste storie wat nog ooit vertel is. Kry jou kaart, speel jou deel, gitaar, sing dit is solo. Ons ruil die Jan-kaart vir 'n Trump-kaart. Dis die blinknuwe manier om die blamspel hard te speel. Gaan die krag uit, is die pad vol gate. Moenie na die begroting of die kieserspeilings kyk nie. Draai net daar die kaart om, sien die goue hare. Die dom is die rede vir die slytas. Ja, ons ruil vandag die Jan-kaart vir 'n Trump-kaart. Ons ruil die Jan-kaart, tot ziens Jan. Sien jou later. Hallo Don, jy's die heiter. Dis nou alles sy skuld, elke liewe bietjie daarvan. Kyk na die kaart, baba. Laaste vonkel in die sentklokkie.
There you go. That's pretty good, huh? All right, cool. That was fun. All right, well, we did that one. We got some Tampon Timmy songs others make. We're not going to do that right now. But anyway, her aunt treated her like a slave at age 10. She would be put out instead of she was. But you talking about the first the Khoi woman. You talking about? Great to have some music. It's a good thing that the word cat is being translated directly to Dutch. First thought was, but it sounds better than the other version. Needs more harmonica and piano accordion. Okay. Thank you, Debbie. Well, I mean, I came up with the lyrics. Yeah, I sent Steve the lyrics and the song. I sent it to Steve, man. Yeah, cool beats. Young lady is exception to the rule. Okay. Thanks, Colonel Chris, for news and music. Have a great afternoon. Okay. Yeah, I don't think that's a Karen Zoid's voice. Yes, I know, James. It's why I say Ronaldo all the time. But, you know, you have to understand that I speak German, and you don't pronounce a G like a G at the end of a sentence. It wouldn't be Brug or Brug. It wouldn't be that. It would be Bruges, because it's pronounced like an ICH. Yep. You're welcome, Alette Robertson. Okay. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up here. That's been awesome to have everybody here. Thank you for the likes. We didn't get to 1,000 again. We got some nice super chat revenue in the end. Thank you for that. I don't think I missed any super chats, but if I did, I'll apologize for that. Yep, that's going to do it. Have a good one, and look for any developments that happen later in the day. I've got other stuff to do. Tomorrow is the medical procedure, but it's after all my broadcasts, so it won't affect my broadcast, okay? You guys take care. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. And, all right, that's going to do it. Hit the like button. Catch you later. Cheers.